From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. You'll experience the difference with C&B Linen because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather at noon.
Well, good afternoon. Taylor Plott here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center on this Thursday. Strong and even severe storms could be on tap once again this afternoon and evening. We're starting to watch the radar very closely here, and a tornado watch will be issued here shortly by the Storm Prediction Center. It could be during this live at noon, so we'll have to wait and see. All right, we have a lot to talk about. First off, let's dive into our Arctic Air Skycam network. Lawrenceburg, Florence, Pulaski, and Cherokee at noon today. Cloud cover, a few peaks of sun here and there, especially on the Florence cam. Seeing a lot of blue sky peeking through in some of these areas. And even though we have the cloud cover around, we're still going to be warming up very nicely once again today. And that's just going to add fuel to the fire, potentially, for some of these strong and even severe storms across the area later on today. Let's take a look at some of the live conditions here in Lawrenceburg. Got a gusty south wind at 13 miles per hour. That dew point still sitting in the mid and upper 60s. So again, that air mass is very moist. Once again, you walk outside, you can feel it. It's very muggy out there. Already 80 degrees here in Florence. Got a southeast wind at 6 miles per hour. The dew point down there is at 67. Across the area, we're going to be watching this area very closely. And you can see it right here. You see the temperature difference. Parsons at 64, Waynesboro at 73, Florence at 80. There's a warm front. It's called an effective warm front. It was laid out by the storms that tracked through last night. And what the storms like to do is fire back up along that, and they can latch onto it and keep riding it over and over and over again. And that's what we'll be watching for those supercells to do that. And there could be some isolated development further to the south as well as temperatures continue to warm into the 80s later on. Here are those winds. These are sustained winds out of the south at 13 in Athens, 13 in Lawrenceburg, 18 in Russellville. And we also have some pretty nice gusts out there too, gusting to 32 miles per hour in Pulaski, 38 in Fayetteville, 17 in Florence. So that wind energy is in place. That shear's there for these storms to get organized and severe. Quick look at your forecast highs today. Everybody's going to be getting into the middle 80s for the most part today. That's what we'll be watching for temperature-wise. As they'll get up to that point, we'll see that storm fuel out there. Live Viper radar, we're watching storms off to our west. These aren't severe right now, east of the Memphis metro area, but we're going to be watching for any development that happens to the southeast of that. The model guidance is hinting that that should take place here in the next hour or two. We'll start to see some of that storm initiation, so we're just watching it closely. But right now, only a few passing showers here for Savannah and Waynesboro. Everything heavy at the moment is off to our west. The Storm Prediction Center nudged the enhanced risk just ever so slightly to the southeast to compensate for where that warm front is located. So we have a level 3 out of 5 risk here from Columbia, Homewald, down towards the Summertown area, Waynesboro, Savannah, Selmer, Tennessee, and the Corinth, Mississippi area, and off to the northwest. Still have that level 2 out of 5 here for Lewisburg, Pulaski, Lawrenceburg, Florence Metro, down to Iuka and the Boonville area, and then less of a risk further to the southeast. What we're watching, like I mentioned, are those supercells. The greatest risk at seeing those supercells are going to be in that enhanced risk area here from Columbia down to the northern part of Lawrence County, Waynesboro, Savannah, and down towards the northeastern part of Mississippi. Again, that's where that effective warm front is located. But there is still a chance that we could get a few storms that develop south of that as we warm up into the 80s, and we might get some development down here, say towards Itawamba County, Mississippi, over towards the Russellville area, maybe towards the Shoals as well. So again, our main focus for the most likelihood at seeing storms today will be in this orange zone. The chance, it's still there, but it's not overly likely right now, but we're still watching things. That's going to be in your yellow shaded area. All modes of severe weather are going to be on the table today. Damaging winds, large hail, and the chance of a few tornadoes as well. And there could be a strong tornado, especially if it latches onto that warm front. It gets a little extra shear because it's in a environment right there where it latches onto a front that has a changing wind direction with it. You get enhanced shear, so you could get a strong tornado along that. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. Your main window, it's a wide window, and I'll explain. Because, again, you have that warm front, so most of the storms are going to end up impacting areas here where it says now through midnight tonight, where they just keep going over and over and over the same areas. That's why you have a bigger window. The window's a tad bit smaller here for areas to the south, like Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, Lewisburg, down to Athens, Florence, the Shoals, Russellville, Iuka, and Fulton. That's just because anything that develops here will move to the north, and there really shouldn't be a lot of development behind it. The majority of the redevelopment behind storms today are going to be in that now through midnight zone from Selmer to Savannah, Waynesboro, Hohenwald, up towards Columbia, Centerville, and Parsons. And I'll show you that here in your Futurecast as we take a look at the HURB model. It actually did a little bit of a decent job yesterday at hinting at that storm development that did occur. So this is going to be the model of choice today once again. And as we get into the afternoon hours, notice that we're starting to see some development off to our west that we're going to have to track very closely. Again, that doesn't mean that there's going to be a supercell right on top of Corinth here at 2 p.m. this afternoon. It's just giving you an idea of where the storms could end up being today. So again, 2 p.m., starting to see that development potential across northeastern Mississippi. Notice the majority of the storms here are close to where that warm front is located. And again, like I mentioned, that's going to be the case today, but we're still going to have to watch if anything gets going here to the south. By 4 p.m., still seeing that zone here of showers and storms and embedded supercells within that area, again with that warm front. And notice how it continues here at 5 p.m. And then it's showing that there could be another wave down here possibly developing across parts of northwestern Alabama. The other thing to keep in mind, I know everybody's going to be focusing in on the tornado potential, the severe weather potential. Flooding is going to end up being a pretty significant risk today where these storms actually start to train, where that warm front is at, because you're going to see round after round after round. Just like what happened last night, you had storm after storm that moved through parts of the Selmer area towards Savannah, towards Hohenwald and Columbia. You kept seeing those warnings pop up. That's going to be the same type of trend with the storms today. You're going to get one, and then there might be one behind it, and then one behind it. They just keep coming. So again, that's where the zone of that activity will be, and it's still watching isolated development to the south. 7 p.m., that's where the window to the south starts to close a little bit, because most of the activity should start to be confined to where that warm front is located from Selmer, Tennessee, all the way up to Hohenwald and Columbia here at 7 p.m. As you see, they continue to move across this area at 9 p.m., still seeing those storms continue to track through. And then finally, by the time we get towards that midnight hour, we should be all done. We can breathe a sigh of relief that all the storms are now going to be through, and we can start to see how the forecast evolves on Friday. I don't think there's going to be any big-time severe weather on Friday. Our next chance is going to end up being on Saturday. So Friday can be a day where you can just kind of, relax a little bit. There's probably going to be some showers and storms around, but like I mentioned, I don't see that being a huge severe weather risk. The severe weather Friday is going to be off to our west. Our next focus is going to end up being on Saturday night into Sunday. I think preferably for our area, it's going to end up being overnight Sunday morning. Overnight, I should say the overnight hours Sunday morning. That's what I was going to try to say. So here we go at 3 p.m. There's a chance there could be a few isolated showers around, nothing too substantial or heavy, but we're going to be watching this area low pressure develop off to our west, a cold front with it. 2 a.m. starting to see those storms start to line up across the area as they track on through. Damaging winds and the chance of a few embedded tornadoes could be on the table for this Saturday and Sunday system. Sunday, 8 a.m. Most of the activity is off to our east at that point. We'll get some wraparound moisture. Check this out. Some snow potential here in the Missouri area. Parts of the Ozarks could be seeing some snow potential on the back side of this. I don't think that's going to be the case here. I think we're still too warm, and we'll just get a few showers on the back side of things with temperatures dropping down into the 50s and the cloud cover continuing to be in place for your day on Sunday. So again, stay weather aware today. We're going to be here, myself, Kelly Rawson, Chase Wilson. We're in here today to give you the latest information as we'll potentially be tracking these storms later on today. And then another focus is going to be what happens late Saturday night into early Sunday morning. Look at these temperatures, though. Fantastic behind that front, dropping down to 60 degrees on Monday with a few clouds around, and then down to 58 degrees on Tuesday for a high. We are watching the chance at a frost, maybe a freeze, as we get into Monday night to Tuesday morning, and then again Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So again, I mentioned it earlier in the week. I know it's very warm out there. It's tempting to go ahead and plant things, but hold off. Our best way that we can explain how, hey, just hold off until right around tax day, kind of the 15th, 18th type of time frame. That's when we should start to end our chances at seeing any frost or freeze potential. So again, just don't plant yet. I know it's tempting with temperatures in the 80s, but we could have some frost potential early next week. Again, we'll be here all day today watching the radar. We'll be here giving you the latest updates. A tornado watch that has not been issued yet. I've been watching the screen over here. It's not been issued, but there will be one here soon from the Storm Protection Center. When that happens, we'll be on here live to give another update. And again, we'll be tracking the storms as they move on through. So stay weather aware today. Stay with us here at the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. We'll keep you advised. Until then, I hope everybody has a safe Thursday.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.